Hello folks, the new weekly boss is out and I will tell you how to get the achievement and tricks to easily beat the Doctor. First off, to start the fight, you do not need to do the Archon quest. Just open up the Adventurer's Handbook, go to Tron's domain, and you can start the new fight right away. Let's start with the achievement. It is pretty much impossible to not get this on the first attempt. All you need to do is break one of the Doctor's 3 rules, and he dishes out rules throughout the entire fight. The first rule is to not look at the Doctor. This is the most annoying one since a lot of attacks will automatically make you face the enemy. If you really want to follow this rule, you might need to just stop attacking and look away for several seconds until it's complete. When you do follow a rule, your entire team gets full energy, which is really helpful to quickly defeat this boss. If you break the rule, the opposite happens and all of your energy drops to 0. It's pretty much feast or famine. Rule number 2 is to not move. Most basic attacks will cause you to move a little over time, and it can be enough to break the rule, so one option is to also stand still like the last rule. However, if you are next to the boss, you can use the Doctor himself to stop you from moving as you continue attacking. Each character's attack is a little different, so your mileage may vary. And rule number 3 is a freebie. It just reverses your movement controls, but you cannot break this rule. If you see this rule, immediately use your strongest burst since you will get full energy in a couple seconds. Now for his other abilities. The fight starts with a moonfall where he floats up and drops 3 pillars. Go behind any pillar to avoid the moon's explosion. You also get energy when behind a pillar, which lets you always be in tip-top shape when starting the fight and rotation. Be patient though, because moving out too early will do a ton of damage if not one-shot you. And there is no point in being greedy attacking him since he has a crazy amount of damage reduction while floating in the air. Oh, and you do take damage from the pillar dropping on your face, which is kinda funny. The next main ability is creating 3 rifts, which causes cryo AoEs and blocks off a lot of the arena for you to stand in. You can go inside the rift and kill the shade to stop the hazard zone, but there are only 2 reasons to go in. One is when the moonfall safe spot is inside the hazard zone. Look how much cryo damage I'm taking while waiting for the moon to explode. If this happens to you, just enter the rift and don't take the free damage. You should also avoid the shade in this scenario and find the portal out. That's because the Doctor will always be in the middle after this attack, which is a hazard-free area. The second reason to enter is when the boss teleports inside a hazard zone and your melee team cannot hit the Doctor. When this annoying situation happens, you have to go inside and defeat the shade unless you can out-heal or out-shield the AoEs. And when you're inside, only defeat the one shade that the Doctor is next to. There's no point in wasting time defeating all 3 shades, since he just summons more anyway. Now for attacks directly from the Doctor. When he channels a blue beam into the sky, rain will fall. The small AoEs does not do a lot of damage, so you can ignore most of them. The real danger is the big AoE at the end. You know what's about to happen when the rainfall reverses and becomes rain rise. Run away from the boss since the AoE center is always on him. However, just like almost every attack in the game, you can use a burst to ignore damage or dodge at the right time to iframe the AoE. The timing is pretty easy thanks to the rain rise animation to get you ready, so you can keep a lot of uptime while avoiding this attack. The last attack I want to mention is the 5 ice AoEs. This starts when the camera zooms out and 5 pillars starts falling. Stay near the middle to give you the least amount of movement needed, but there are 5 AoEs to avoid, so add in some bursts to not run out of stamina. The Doctor has other attacks like a water beam and clones, but those are easy to avoid, so I'll skip those. And that's all the mechanics for this fight. I will summarize as this quick kill feed runs in the background. Even with all these attacks from the Doctor, this is one of the quicker weekly bosses since there's no phase or transitions that you need to wait for. A hard-hitting team can still unga-bunga their way to victory. The only thing slowing you down is the RNG of the rules. If you are lucky and not get the rule that makes you not look at the Doctor, you end up with so much energy that you can barely cast your burst fast enough. And I was lucky in this one where I got a bunch of the reverse rolls, which is pretty much just free bursts for my team. Anyway, hope this guide was helpful, and as always, have fun out there, traveler.
Excellent! You've barely managed to touch my level. Entropy bends.
Incinerate! Light it up!
Ah, and here I thought you dodged that.
Get to work! Suffer the wrath of Eastleigh! Light of the blazing sun! Incinerate! Teamwork is dreamwork! Keep lolly! Keep papa! Rise with the sun! Wrath from the sky!
So you'd rather wallow in this rotten, decaying world?